Recap Tales of Herding Gods, Chapter 5 and 97. Chapter Mute's hand moved with fluid grace, each stroke weaving through the air like a soft wind, and Deaf's eyes followed them as if reading the invisible script of the heavens. He spoke, his voice carrying a calm weight. This is trivial. Simply do not gaze into the mirror. You are no child, and it was Mute who said this, not I. Apothecary drew forth the mirror, its surface shimmering with a subtle, ethereal light, and turned it toward Chinmu, keen to observe his reaction. Chinmu's eyes immediately clouded, as though a figure had stepped forth from the depths of his soul. The mirror was hastily retracted by Apothecary, his brow furrowed with concern. It is simple to avoid looking into it, but what of washing one's face? Or encountering others who wield a mirror to reflect his image? A mere devil or spy, casting a reflection upon Mu'er, and he will fall prey to the art again. The practitioners who have bowed to the devils are numerous. Tianfengou is but one. Butcher's hand shot out, seizing the mirror and turning its brilliance toward Chinmu. Instantly, Chinmu's vision swirled, and the phantom form of Fu Rilo advanced within his gaze, nearer than before. Alarm jolted through Butcher, and he flipped the mirror with trembling haste, banishing the apparition from view. How formidable! Butcher exclaimed, awe threading his voice. Fu Riluo's divine art is uncanny, emerging from the very eyes of Chinmu. Shall we lure him forth and summon a host of true gods to strike him down? Let us see this terror in action. Chinmu shook his head. It is futile. He does not truly appear. The mirror only awakens his divine art. Once triggered, he draws me to his side. He will never manifest before us. Butcher's praise spilled again. To reach such a level, remarkable indeed. Mute snatched the mirror next, casting its light toward Chinmu. Involuntarily, his gaze fell, and the phantom Fu Riluo stepped yet closer. Mute's hand shook as he flipped the mirror away, voice sharp and commanding. Abba! Blind lunged forward, eager to try his hand with the mirror, only to receive Granny C's furious reprimand in the form of a heavy strike to the head. Old fools! Shine that mirror any longer, and Mu'er will be seized by that three-faced oddity. Blind's fury flared. Granny, all have shown it! Why only me? Granny C snatched the mirror from him, while Cripple lingered nearby, waiting for his turn. Seeing Granny Sai guarding her charge, he dared not act. Though the temptation to shine the mirror at Chinmu burned in her, Granny Sai restrained herself, for he was her child, her responsibility. Yet her heart itched with curiosity, and in disabled elderly village, none were more playful than she. If he cannot look upon the mirror, and cannot draw Fu Riluo forth, does this divine art remain ever trapped within his gaze? All present felt the weight of helplessness. Even masters of extraordinary skill found Fu Riluo's technique bewildering, defying comprehension. At that moment, Eternal Peace, Imperial Preceptor, and True God Pang Yu arrived. Fellow Taoists have returned? We were organizing the army and could not intervene sooner. Forgive our delay. Imperial Preceptor always has insight. Perhaps he can find a solution. The assembly hurriedly recounted the events, and the preceptor nodded thoughtfully. He drew a mirror from within his robes, prepared to shine its light upon Chinmu. The onlookers exchanged curious glances. Though a middle-aged man, the preceptor's bearing was refined, his appearance meticulous, his mirror seemingly an extension of his aura. Granny C's fist clenched, poised to strike him. Sensing this, he placed the mirror aside with a courteous smile. Dao Friend C, to discover a solution, one must first awaken the divine art within him, lay aside hostility. Do not shine too long, she warned. The mirror's light revealed Fu Riluo stepping forth from Chinmu's eyes. The preceptor's heart skipped, astonished. Exquisite divine art, imprinted upon the eyes of cult master Qin, one gaze ensnares the soul. Fu Riluo's mastery reaches such heights? Granny C pressed. Imperial Preceptor, can you remedy this? He paced, the lines of thought deep upon his brow. Perhaps another glance might illuminate the path. Granny C could not restrain herself and struck his head sharply. The assembly fell silent. Even Emperor Yanfeng would not dare such a rebuke. Yet Granny Sai was unflinching. Calmly, the preceptor accepted it. Dao Friend C, one look alone may not suffice to unravel Fu Riluo's art. Perhaps more glimpses will reveal the way. She narrowed her eyes. And if you fail? He met her gaze solemnly. If dawn brings enlightenment, I shall meet the dusk without regret. Still skeptical, she glanced at True God Pang Yu. Your power is immense. Surely you have a solution? Pang Yu hesitated. His intent to employ the mirror was tempered by fear of her wrath. If the imperial preceptor cannot, then neither can I. I revere his path and art. Fu Riluo's attainments surpass even mine, particularly this divine art of the eyes. Only the heavenly teacher rivals him. You should seek him. Qin Mu's heart stirred. Saint Woodcutter's prowess was legendary, and perhaps he could dismantle Fu Riluo's art. The heavenly teacher now resides in Luofu heaven, Pang Yu continued. Finding him is no difficulty. I would escort you, yet the armies face each other. The devil race blocks our path. The preceptor's mind swirled with longing, yet duty bound him. Luofu heaven would wait. The barrier between Luofu heaven and Supreme Emperor heaven had thinned, torn asunder by Devil God's assault. Granny Sai's eyes sparkled. I shall accompany Mu'er to see the first saint of our heavenly devil cult. She envisioned Saint Woodcutter, imparting scripture upon stone to founding master, the lineage of the cult born of his teachings. To behold such a legend was the zenith of aspiration for all disciples. Qin Mu hesitated, glancing at the jubilant Granny Si, concealing the truth. Saint Woodcutter, originator of the cult, unaware of its existence, to tell her would be to shatter her dream, he mused. Pang Yu spoke of terrain in Luofu heaven, treacherous and laced with spatial shards, before Granny Si produced a white silk ribbon to cover Qin Mu's eyes. Mu'er, release your primordial spirit. Let it see through these eyes. Impossible, the preceptor interjected. Fu Riluo's art extends to the primordial spirit. A glance will awaken it. Then let it be, Granny Si said in awe. Qin Mu obeyed, projecting his primordial spirit upon an auspicious cloud behind his head. Granny Si directed the mirror, and the primordial spirit's gaze fell upon it. Fu Riluo emerged from within, stepping fully into view. Now standing at the threshold of Qin Mu's pupils, satisfied, Granny Si withdrew the mirror, a weight lifted from her heart. True God Pang Yu, how to reach Luofu heaven? She asked. I will tear open the space and guide you, he said. Blindfolded, Qin Mu relied on other senses, led by Granny Si. Pang Yu split the veil of space, revealing the perils of Luofu heaven. Dragon Qilin and Hulinger yearned to follow, but the rift closed, leaving them behind. Apothecary proposed a journey to Fengdu via great ruins to find village chief, and Hulinger took command of the path, reassuring the disappointed Dragon Qilin. In joy, the Dragon Qilin revealed his colossal form, inviting the party upon his back, promising swift passage and recalling prior visits. Cripple, Butcher, Blind, and others mounted, reminiscing and jesting. The conversation turned to the Dragon Qilin's appetite for spirit pills. Scarlet Fire Spirit Pills, Fire Element Divine Vitality Pills, Water Element Divine Vitality Pills. 3 buckets per meal, 9 daily. Astonishment and amusement rippled through the company. Blind's envy, Hulinger's secret amusement, and the harmony of wealth and skill among the elders painted the scene, until in Luofu heaven, Qin Mu sought to remove the golden willow leaf from his third eye. Granny Si struck down his hand, chiding him, yet agreed to aid his movement, warning him against using the Overlord Body 3 elixir technique. The leaf was peeled, revealing his third eye, turning to scan the surrounding world with keen awareness, the heavens and earth bending subtly to the gaze of a cultivator awakened. Mu'er, let me see your eye. Granny Si's gaze pierced his third eye, lingering with the weight of countless secrets, yet she found no trace of Fu Riluo within. She lifted a mirror to catch the reflection, but still, nothing stirred of the man in this mystical orb. Only then did she relax, her voice calm, yet imbued with authority. You may use this eye, but do not unleash your magic. Granny will contend with any danger. Once we meet Saint Woodcutter, you must employ this golden willow leaf to conceal it fully. Qin Mu bowed his head and accepted the golden willow leaf. It was his first time opening the eye in the center of his brows to perceive the world, and as the veil parted, he saw with a clarity unlike his normal eyes. The mundane realm faded. The divine arts practitioners' outer forms were but masks, and beneath, the world twisted into strange, vibrant patterns of power. Granny Sai appeared in his vision, not only in her flesh, but with her divine treasures and primordial spirit laid bare. And when he glimpsed her primordial spirit, an unbidden hunger stirred, a ravenous longing to consume the essence of her being, an urge that made his stomach churn with an unnatural desire. He did not understand the source of this craving, yet it was as though the eye had unlocked a ferocity within him. an insatiable appetite threatening to overwhelm. In the ruins of Without Embroiling City, he had first dared to open his third eye, only to have Earthcount strike his jade pendant against it, and Mute, Blind, and others had forged the golden willow leaf to seal it, sparing him from such sensations. But now, as the eye opened anew, the strangeness returned. Is this the fault of the eye, or is Luofu heaven itself to blame? Suppressing the urge to devour Granny C's primordial spirit, Qin Mu contemplated. Luofu heaven is the realm of devils. Even if flawed, the devil Qi would not awaken such hunger. This anomaly lies in the eye itself. Why does it invoke this voracious craving? He could only set the thought aside and follow Granny C toward the nearest sacrificial altar. Saint Woodcutter and the 24 gods had erected towering pyramid altars to sacrifice to Supreme Emperor Heaven, compelling Fu Riluo to halt his campaign. These altars, guarded jealously by Saint Woodcutter, would remain intact, and Fu Riluo and his forces would refrain from striking until their destruction. Seeking out Saint Woodcutter was the path of prudence. The Luofu heaven Qin Mu beheld mirrored the version Fu Riluo had revealed, yet it seethed with untamed peril. Vast planets churned above, their magnetic fields clashing with Luofu heavens, shuddering the ground with violent quakes. Volcanoes erupted, storms tore across the land with a speed unmatched, gales sliced like celestial blades, and oceans roared skyward, waves breaking the sound barrier, annihilating all in their path. Earth, water, wind, and fire raged unchecked, rendering life impossible. The very space itself was torn. Long, mirror-like rifts stretched between heaven and earth, their edges razor-sharp. Even the briefest misstep could cleave one in twain, leaving nothing but awareness of death after the slice. Qin Mu and Granny C moved with care, evading waves that could swallow mountains. A colossal tide, over 10,000 feet high, was split by a jagged space rift, the power of the crack cleaving it asunder. Stars shimmered before and behind Granny C, forming the great overarching heavenly star's force field, a protective shell and a sensory lattice for the lurking dangers. To her, the perils of Luofu heaven were but a trifling annoyance. Qin Mu's gaze swept the infernal expanse. Countless souls drifted amidst the chaos, souls of devils long dead. The hunger within him surged anew, yet he restrained it, a chill of fear curling through his spine. What manner of monstrosity has this eye rendered me? Ahead, a vast corpse of a devil god lay prone amidst a maelstrom on the barren plains. The storm raged, yet the body remained immovable, towering over 100 yards. Wings had ossified into bone, hooves gleamed gold, and within its ruined frame, divine treasures glowed faintly. Sun, moon, stars, and land, all submerged in water and decay. Entering a breach in the divine treasures, Qin Mu saw lands drowned beneath the remnants of celestial waters, ruined stars scattered across the heavens. Houses stood half submerged, remnants of a devil refugee camp destroyed centuries prior. Granny C murmured in awe. Could it be that after Luofu Heaven's catastrophe, some devil gods sacrificed their corporeal forms to shelter their kin within divine treasures? Through his third eye, Qin Mu glimpsed a distant celestial palace, fractured and forlorn. Tethered to the divine bridge by a flight of bridges, a solitary, sorrowful soul lingered within, stirring a fleeting desire in him to devour it. But instead, respect filled his heart. The god's corporeal form had perished against calamity, yet his treasures had sheltered his clansmen, however briefly, before their inevitable ruin. He exhausted his primordial spirit, yet his soul endures. Granny C's words echoed silently in his mind. His kin perished, yet his essence remains. The wandering souls of common devils stirred in the wreckage, trapped by the shattering of the life and death divine treasure. Qin Mu closed his third eye, shuddering at the dark urges it had awakened. These cravings were not his own, nor the workings of his subconscious. No, some foreign corruption sought to taint him. His resolve hardened. Speaking in Yudu tongue, he summoned the gate of heaven influence. Its archway rising with commanding majesty, he wove the divine arts anew, sending the captured souls of the devil race into Yudu. Cold winds howled through the gate, carrying the spirits across the void. Lantern light soon touched his face, and a voice echoed, astonished yet reverent, "It is you. You caused no trouble?" Qin Mu waved, closing the gate. "Granny, let us go." Granny C's gaze softened, a gentle smile gracing her features. "Mu'er has truly grown." As they turned to leave, a fragile voice whispered from afar, "Much thanks." Qin Mu glanced back. The devil god's soul crumbled, dispersing with the palace itself, stars extinguished one by one. Muir need not linger, his soul disperses. Granny C grasped his hand, withdrawing them swiftly. His wish remained unfulfilled, thus his soul lingers. Once dispersed, his treasures would collapse as well. Explosions thundered behind them, divine treasures obliterated. Shockwaves hurled them skyward. Granny C's force field shielded Chinmu, but a black beam pierced the barrier, coiling like a flood dragon. Muir aided your people's souls, yet you dare harm him? Fury ignited in Granny C, but the beam twisted behind Chinmu, transforming into a swirling black glow. Within it, red lines coalesced into a blood-colored devil moon, its runes ever shifting. Chinmu raised a mirror, observing the malevolent formation. Granny C's expression shifted to delight. You retain your conscience. That devil moon is the remnants of the god's treasures, a gift to bolster your devil path cultivation. The moon's energy infused him, strengthening his devil vitality. A breakthrough to the 7-star divine treasure seemed imminent. Granny, why did that devil god assist me, seeing I am human? Chinmu asked. Granny Sagai guided him toward the distant sacrificial altars, a knowing smile upon her lips. You are human, yet you have the heart of a newborn, a capacity for repayment and respect. Heroes dwell even among the devil race, souls worthy of reverence.